Welcome to clickmyproject.com. Let us see our project title is a two-tiered on-demand resource allocation mechanism for VM-based data centers. The total required capacities of all the hosted applications in current enterprise data centers. The performance of critical applications named by the data center manager when resource competition arises according to the time-varying capacity demands and the quality of applications. The application performance as well as 26% higher average CPU utilization than traditional service computing framework. In order to optimize resource allocation among services in data center, on-demand resource management is necessary to maximize providers by meeting service quality. This paper describes the design and implementation of a system that uses virtual machine technology to provide fast, transparent application migration. The visualization technology makes it feasible that multiple guest operating systems run on a single physical machine. This scheduling strategy may be performance when virtual machine execute concurrent applications. CPU time when the system workload is the concurrent applications. Two-tiered on-demand resource allocation mechanism with feedback for VM-based data centers. The two-tiered on-demand resource allocation mechanism consisting local and global resource allocation with feedback. We evaluate the multi-tiered resource scheduling scheme with the performance improvement for the most critical services. Let us see our project flow diagram is get details of system detail. Whatever it is installed whole software package in our system, we get into our whole software details information to measure CPU level and memory load capacity. CPU scheduler in current VMs to allocate CPU to VMs in proportion to the weights. The CPU and network overheads of VM migration way reduce the performance of the hosted application. VM migration is simultaneous reallocation set of resources including CPU. After that server should be active. The server active pages to transfer the user request pool. User request pool, we want any software package request on admin process. So the admin process that demand resource allocation to achieve the goal of high resource utilization and good quality of application. Dynamically allocate resource to VMs according to the resource utilization and the statistical size. Admin should be allocate job sequence. VMs residing in the same server are time varying and they different from each other, resulting in the requirement of dynamic resource allocation among VM within server. Workloads of each application running on various servers are also time varying and different from each other applications. Job sequence to transfer the performance. Job sequence to transfer performance analyze. The application is Gaussian or with different resource intensities. The similar time varying workload was execute the comparison. We can see our project demo is first of all VM based applications. We get to all information of our system. The software access button, an access gathering button and server access button. Software access button to find out our system name. The address gathering button, system IP addresses. To click on software button, we can see our system name, IP address and software details. We get into our system name Riaz PC and IP address 192.168.0.175. Software details, whatever it is installed software package, we get the whole package of software information. FT downloader, Adobe AR, Adobe Flash Player, and Adobe Photoshop, Acrobat.com. So to be level strategy, we can continuously click this button. The CV level should be changed. We can see CV level change. That graph can be varied. So your system IP address 192.168.0.175, CPU level say 40% and memory load 67 MB. The memory load capacity in our system. Memory load the intimate our system memory capacity. So virtual machine 1, processor name Pentium or dual core. We can use our system processor name Pentium dual core CPU. So priority 5, tolerance 1. We get whole information of our system. We can see our user request applications. So to click on the view button, to show on VM software details. User we want any software, the whole software details to view on our user system. If user we want to select on our view details. To here I have to select in FT downloader and Adobe here. So to click on the confirm button, user how many software to select software that select confirm to send to admin. We can see our another application of admin process. To click on the enable button, to click user selected process to transfer admin to view on admin control. How much of software selected to update in admin process. So selected process to transfer admin to view on admin control. How much of software selected to updated in admin process. To click on the workload button, the admin says to check the quality of software, which VM to the best, VM1 server load and VM2 server load. We can see that. So software is Adobe Air and FT downloader. VM1 server load 745 and VM2 server load 120. And FT downloader VM1 server load 995 and VM2 server load 160. The workload depends upon the CVE ranges. Though we can see in permission allocations, software request and virtual machine IP addresses, Adobe Air and FT downloader. That selected software, that virtual machine's IP addresses was quality of services. That IP was selected that process. Admin control to check quality of services. That IP addresses was admin control to check the quality of services. That IP addresses was selected. So that IP addresses to give information of access a user. Admin process to transfer which IP addresses was selected depends upon quality of services. So the IP addresses was transferred user part. So we have access here the IP addresses because that process mainly user get best quality of services and we get less time consumptions. Get the packages. Admin process to transfer which IP addresses was selected depends upon quality of which server we want to select in user part. So selected server to ready to incoming message. Which software user to select that software to shown on list box. Any one of the software to selected. To click on the software button. Which server we want to select that server system access the user. We can see our server system to shown here. User want to software direct into access that system. Which server we want to select that server system access the user. Select user, we use that system. We can see up to finalize process of performance analysis. We can see our project graph shown here. To click the load button to shown on load 1 and load 2. That load 1 and load 2 intimate our VM's workload based. Which VM to allocate in admin. We can see which IP to allocate admin, that IP addresses to send more times. User can be used many times to get the software packages that server. Two VMs comparing and analyzing process. And 192.168.0.17 and another VM is 192.168.0.17. The two VMs comparing that analysis process. So load 1 load 2 depends upon CPU allocation. That which IP that 192.168.0.17 IP addresses we have to send in many times in users. So get details of user get detailed information. So to collect that IP addresses. So after that, to select to click on software button, which software user we want to many times. That IP addresses we have to many times to send into user. The softwares want to user get quality of services. We can see that softwares Bureau Essentials, FT downloader, Microsoft Office. To similar time varying was execute the process. We can see the many times to transfer in user. So user we get details of that software information. So that software applications only. So Bureau Essential, FT downloader, Microsoft Office proofing, same both are equal. Thank you.